Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. This is where I take 5 things related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject or thereabouts, and then I move on to the next topic. You never know what you're going to get. It's always quick. It's always snappy. We're going back to the original format of the 5x5s this week, and I'm talking about 5 completely different things. No live performances this week, but we will get back to the live performances as of next week, I promise. But we've got some incredible stuff to talk about, including a performance of a couple of really cool routines that you might not have seen before. And also, we're going to get Matt to analyse a trick, which I think would be really interesting. But let me know in the comments down below. We're going to start straight off with a performance of one of my favourite Tenyo tricks. Okay, guys, I want to talk to you about now a Tenyo trick. There's some Tenyo tricks that come out that are brilliant, some Tenyo tricks that aren't so good. This is a really cool Tenyo trick that came out, I think, in about 2015. It's called Magic Painting, and it's by Tenyo. It's available from a few different places. I know that SEO Magic have it in stock and available to ship, and it's a really fun routine. If you're looking for a close-up trick that will work for kids and adults, this is a really fun trick that will work for both kids and adults. It's really cool. It's got a magic painting theme to it, and it's a packet trick, and let's be honest, who doesn't love packet tricks? So without further ado, let's have a look at the performance of Magic Painting.
Yeah, man. You?
Do some colouring. Do you like colouring in?
Well, I mean, I haven't done it for a good few
Sarah's
years.
got like an adult colouring book.
I'm sure she has.
It's not adult as in she's not colouring in knobs and tits and stuff. It's kind of.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fairly positive. Well, so I don't know. She's never shown it me.
Oh, we'll have a look.
She's colouring in knobs, isn't she?
I mean, it's either that or you hanging from stuff.
Yeah, it could be either. But this is a different thing. This is a different thing. So what we have here is we have some cards, and we're going to do some magic colouring. It's very exciting. I've got this. No, it is. I've got 3 red cards and 1 blue card. The blue card is the odd one out because it's the only one that's blue, and it's got an easel, because when you think about colouring in, you think about easel. You need an art easel, don't you, to colour in? You need one of these to colour in. So the blue card has an easel. The red cards don't. So I'm going to show you what's on the red cards in a minute. But the easel, I'm going to put down there. Is that okay?
Sure.
We'll get back to it. Now, that's what we're painting. We're going to paint a very simple thing. And on these cards, I have paints. Are you colourblind?
No.
Because if you are, this trick is terrible.
No, I'm not.
Good. What colour is that?
Blue.
You're so good.
I
Very
know.
good. We've got blue. And we also have...
Green.
Correct. And finally, we have...
Red.
Red. 3 colours. Those are the only 3 colours that we need to do this. Okay? Are you ready?
Always.
First of all, we'll put a little bit... What should we do first? We'll do a bit of blue first. Look, if I just take a bit of blue, because we need a sky. We're going to do sky, grass, flowers. We're going to keep it basic. We're going to take, first of all, the blue. We're going to take some blue. Now, the blue's on the bottom. We're going to take some blue, and we're going to throw it there, and we're trying to make a sky. Now, I'm not going to do this. You are, because I'm teaching you how to be a magical artist. I know how to take and throw. You don't. So here's a magical paintbrush. It's invisible. Take the magic paintbrush, and what I want you to do is just wave it under... No, this is important.
You love this shit.
This is important. Take the magic paintbrush and just wave it around. You want to get a lot of blue. Is there blue on the paintbrush? You got it? Thank you.
Yeah.
And now just do some sky on the easel. You got some sky? Very, very good. Let's have a look at how you did. Oh, look, you used a lot of the blue. That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing. You did great. Right, let's go for the green. There's an invisible glass of water here. You might want to wash the blue off. There you go. And now take some green. Yes, that's nice. Take some green. Very good. And a bit more green, because there's going to be more grass. We need more green than blue. There you go. I mean, you want to paint the grass.
Bob Ross.
Honestly, you're doing so well.
Thanks, man.
This is like Picasso. Let's see how you did. Look, look how much green you took. I mean, honestly, at this point, you're doing amazing. What I want you to do, I had a bit of a problem with the red, by the way. You remember when you saw the red? I'll be honest with you. I had a smidge of a problem. You know what the problem was?
What?
Well, I accidentally trod on the red.
Oh, no. You trod on the red?
Yeah, I trod on the red. I don't know if you... No, you can see. Look, I trod on it. There's my... It's an issue, really. Trod on the red. But don't worry, we can still get it before it dries. Take a bit of red.
Oh, I haven't washed it.
Oh, no, wash it out. That's important. Take a bit of red. That's very good.
Damage my phone.
Do that, and then you want flowers. 2 flowers. Let's go for 2 flowers. There you go. Now, how do you think you did with your magical colouring?
How did that happen?
You did it with your magical paintbrush. Oh, I trod on that one. That was my fault. But the others you did. How did you do? Do you think you did well? Let's have a look. Oh my God, you did amazing. Well done, Matt. Honestly, you're like Picasso.
What? What happened?
You just painted a picture.
Well, no, I didn't, though, did I?
Yes, you did. I mean, there's proof here. There's no paint.
How did any of that happen?
There's nothing. You just did it. It's amazing.
How did any of that happen?
I'm just the cameraman, don't ask me.
Why am I still holding this?
I don't know, Bob Ross, why are you?
You can keep it. Souvenir. And the glass. There you go. That's yours.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, we're going to do a sneak peek of a interview that's coming up on Magic TV very, very soon. This Saturday, I have an interview with the legend that is Lee Hathaway. Now, Lee has actually been interviewed on this channel before, and it was an amazing interview. This is a follow-up interview. Lee Hathaway, if you don't know who he is, he was on Penn and Teller Foolers. He's a very high-up member of the Magic Circle, and he is one of the most successful close-up magicians in the world today, in my opinion. Now, he's got a book coming out in the next week or two, and this book is all about how to be a successful close-up magician, both in terms of how to perform, in terms of how to get gigs, and also in terms of how to be happy and make sure your magical mojo is right up there. It's a really cool book, and I sit down with Lee and I talk about the new book, I talk about what it's all about, who it's designed for, and we really break it down. Now, there are sound issues a little bit because I was filming on his boat. There are a couple of sound issues at various different points in the interview, but that doesn't affect the interview at all. I'm going to play you a short clip of this interview, but the whole thing is coming up on Saturday right here on Magic TV. And guys, if you perform close-up magic, you really don't want to miss this interview. That's great. So tell me about the book. What's it about? First of all, what's the title of the book? How big is it? And what is the content?
So the book is called Happy Busy Magician, and it's 144 pages. I can tell you what it's printed on and all sorts. It's a king-size book, so it's 6 by 9 inches, quite a big book, sort of standard large size. It's hardback, so it's a nice quality book. So it's about that size and sort of about that thick or so. I haven't seen quite how thick it is until we get it, but looking at other books around that size, you know, so it's easy to read, but it's not tiny either, you know, but it's not small. So it's just a decent sized book, and I wanted to write a book, especially over the lockdown stuff, you know, and I saw a lot of people that were I thought, you know, there were a lot of these courses coming out about how to earn more money and how to earn big bucks, and I saw a lot of people I thought performing, you know, like close-up magic, or I just thought there's nothing, as I say in the book, you know, if you know, when you read it, there's nothing wrong with any of that ambition and that sort of stuff. I just wanted to bring the focus back a bit more to actually what I think is important about being a great close-up performer and being really good at doing close-up. And so you'll see the theme through the book is obviously there's lots of sort of hints and tips and thoughts on how to be a much better close-up performer, you know, and some of those are business related, you know, some of them are performance related, and some of them are about looking after yourself and, you know, and embracing the magic community and all the sorts of things that you should be doing if you want to just be really, really great at doing close-up, you know. And I wanted to add a bit of love into it, you know, and something, and emphasize that magic should be fun. And so that's why, you know, there's some great cartoons through it with written by the amazing cartoonist Shiba Cassini, and the style of it as well is quite, you know, you'll know is quite conversational, and there's a few little anecdotes and jokes in it and stuff. So I wanted it to be quite a good feel-good book as well, you know. But my hope is that it's a sort of book that any close-up performer, anyone that wants to do close-up for a living, or is either doing close-up for a living or aspiring to, can dip in and out of, and there will definitely be something in there that they can that there's a takeaway from it that they might not have thought about or might not have realised. And it's just come from, you know, 25 years experience of going out there and performing, you know. And every time I've had an idea or I've thought of something, you know, and you'll know this because you're an experienced performer as well, sometimes you come across something you think that's brilliant, that's going in every set, or that's a great way of dealing with that situation, you know. And so that's what I've tried to include in the book is all of as much of that information as possible.
That's really great. That's great. So I suppose the question that I know everyone's going to be thinking, is there tricks in there? Is it a book of tricks, or is it more of a kind of a how-to guide to being a successful professional close-up magician?
So it's definitely more of a how-to guide. The subtitle of the book is how to be better, busier, and happier doing close-up. You know, and there's a real emphasis on the happier side of that as well, because I think that I see a lot of magicians who are working close up who are either fed up or jaded with it, you know, so it's not all about just being better, better or busier all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to feel fulfilled in what you're doing. So there's an emphasis about, there's an impetus to try and explain, make people realize why they, and ask why you're doing it in the first place, and is it, and to feel fulfilled doing close up. There is one effect in it. I allude to at the beginning of the book. I say there's far too many books on tricks. We've got hundreds of thousands of effects to choose from. I don't think we need any more effects really. And a lot of them are variations on something else that's already been and gone. But so I'm not certain we need more effects really, especially if you want to work professionally at any standard. But I have put one in it, which is my version of Anniversary Waltz, which is called Anniversary Triumph, and and the reason I put it in is because it's a routine that I'm most proud of. It's a routine I actually do perform when I'm out there working. It's not, everyone. So many people say, "Oh, this is in my set," and you think, "Well, you've got about 5,000 things in your set now," But I mean, this is genuinely something I do when I'm performing, and it's a routine I've worked over years. And the reason it's in the A, because I'm really proud of it. B, because it's a great routine to do for weddings or couples or anniversaries, and also it captures the performance of it, and all the elements of it capture a lot of the things that I write about in the book. So I just thought it was a really nice way of wrapping up a lot of the points that I make in the book about how to perform something that's great and memorable, and that people remember afterwards, that gets you rebooked, that is a talking point and focus point. There's so many aspects of that routine that I think lend themselves to other points that are made throughout the book. So that's why.
Okay, guys, we're going to do a performance right now of another trick that I really love. This is again, ironically, from SEO Magic. You can get it from, but it's available from various other dealers as well. And this is by one of my favorite magicians. It's called Six Dice Miracle by Shigeo Tagaki. Now, the next two segments are going to be taken up with this. The first segment is going to be a performance to Matt of Shigeo Tagaki's Six Dice Miracle. And then I'm going to chat with Matt afterwards about what he thought about the trick. This is kind of be a mini Matt test. And the reason I'm doing this, if you saw the Matt test from last week, Matt actually didn't like Ideal Meal by David Jonathan, which surprised me because I do like it. And I think I know why. So I'm performing this trick on Matt because it's got a very similar method, and I want to know what he thinks. I'm trying to get to the bottom of why he wasn't too keen on Ideal Meal. So I'm going to show you this Matt test right now. It's kind of like a mini Matt test. There's going to be two segments. The first segment is going to be a performance, and the second segment is going to be me getting Matt's opinion on the trick. So let's run both of those segments right now. Hello.
Hi, mate.
I have dice.
Yeah, I know.
I have paper. I have a pen. Today we're going to be combining my two favourite things, magic and maths.
Oh, your favourite thing is maths.
I love it. We're going to be doing mathemagic.
I thought it was done with school.
Mathemagic. You get it? It's
I get
and
it.
magic. It's mathemagic.
I think
We're
you
gonna
were
be doing
expecting
mathemagic.
a better reaction to it, but I do get it.
Well, here's the thing. Have a look at these dice. There's 6 dice. And you'll see there's random numbers on each side. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all different numbers, some high, some low. All different numbers on each dice. Or die, if you want to be grammatically correct. And you'll see that each one has a different colour as well. So there's 6 different colours on each dice. 6 different colours, 6 dice, 6 numbers on each dice. They're all different. The possible combinations are literally millions to one. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to do a couple of things before we start. And the first thing is you're going to pick a colour to eliminate. Whichever colour you want to eliminate is fine. Whatever colour you say, we're not going to use that colour at all during the rest of this experiment because Mac, this is an experiment. It's not a trick, it's an experiment. So first of all, which colour would you like to eliminate?
Green.
You want to get rid of green. Okay. So we're not going to use green. Now, there's 6 dice. Which dice or die would you like to eliminate? We're going to get rid of one of them. They've all got different numbers on, but we're going to eliminate one die. It's up to you which one.
That one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You can change your mind if you want to. I don't want you saying later on, I made you pick this die.
No, you didn't make me pick the die.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah? You happy?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to make a prediction. Don't look. Nor you, Jack. I'm going to make a prediction. I think you're hard to read, but I'm going to go with that. Okay, I'm just going to fold it up. I don't want you to see.
Were you just videoing me covering my face?
Well, I can't exactly put my hand on the camera, can I?
There you go. Right, okay. So, sit on it.
Sit on it.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Okay.
Remember that I made my prediction before we did anything. So, die is gone. That's your choice.
Okay.
The colour green is gone. That's your choice. We're left with 5 dice. You're going to roll them, and you're going to come up with 5 random numbers. Okay, there is a random number on each die. You're going to come up with 5 random numbers. Roll them. Nice. Now, what I want to do is I want to make it so that each die has a different colour facing up. So what I want you to do is, you've got 2 blues there. Okay, that's interesting. You've still got 2 blues. Are you happy? Are you happy with that? Or would you like to change again? You can roll them again. You can do whatever you want to do.
No, they're all different.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
So let's write those numbers down. So what do we have? We have
48,
56,
56, 65,
65,
56,
56
again, and
again.
11.
and 11. Perfect. So your job is to add those up.
Oh, you kidding?
No,
dude.
Go for it.
8 is 14, 19, 25, 26, 9, 15, 21, 22, 23, 236.
236. And was that a free choice? 236. Because think about it, you made all the decisions. First of all, you decided which colour to eliminate. Then you decided which die to eliminate. Then you rolled the other dice and you decided on which numbers we were going to use. And you could have changed your mind at any point and gone in a different direction. But you ended up with 236. Do you remember I made a prediction? You're sitting on it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want that name?
Yeah. So I got 236. I made this prediction at the very beginning. Open it up and have a look at it.
It's never.
236.
Oh, shit.
Now hold that thought. Don't say anything. I'm going to ask your opinion in the next. Okay, so I've just shown you this. This is called the 6 Dice Miracle by Shigeo Tagaki, who's a very famous magician from the Far East. This isn't a map test. This is a 5x5, so I've only got 5 minutes to get your opinion here. But what do you think of this?
I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it? You don't like it or you don't get it?
No, I don't get it.
You don't get how it's done?
No.
You what?
Like, it's 5 random numbers.
Yes.
I rolled on a dice.
Yeah.
We get rid of... Why do we get rid of 1 dice?
Just to randomise things. Just to make it really random.
So we get rid of a dice.
Yeah.
And they are all genuinely different numbers.
Yeah, they are.
And then we get rid of a colour.
Yeah.
I don't... Yeah, because they are all completely different. So if they're all completely different numbers...
And they are. And you could have eliminated any dice.
And I could have eliminated
And you could have eliminated any colour.
And any colour. And then just randomly roll.
And don't forget, I made a prediction at the very beginning.
That's what I don't understand how you could... I don't understand how it's possible.
So do you like it?
Yeah.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
It's a good trick.
It's great.
I'm going to tell you why. Do you remember last week on the map test, you didn't like Ideal Meal by David Jonathan, the thing with the food?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been sitting here thinking, why didn't you like it? Because I really liked it. So this was kind of an experiment. And I'll tell you where I'm going with this in a minute. But do you think this was better than Ideal Meal? You just said you liked this. I'm guessing. Yeah? This is the exact same method.
It's the same what?
It's the same method. The way that this is done is the same method with Ideal Meal. Forget about eliminating a colour and forget about eliminating a dice. Imagine, and forget about the number of the numbers and everything. Imagine that these numbers are prices on a menu. And imagine that each one of these dice represents a starter, a drink, a main course, a dessert, and I said to you, you have to go with one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, and I said each you have to have one from each restaurant. So imagine each colour is a restaurant.
Yeah.
The method behind this is very
It's
similar.
the same. Okay.
But you liked this and you didn't like Ideal Meal. And I've been sitting here mulling over why.
That seems...
And I want to propose, and I want to hear your thoughts, but I want to propose a reason why I think you didn't like Ideal Meal.
Okay.
I think the reason it is, and I might be wrong, is because expectations versus reality. In other words, I was asking you to come up with this perfect meal that you were making for yourself. And I predicted the price that you would pay. I think you would have found it a much better trick if I predicted the actual meal that you'd had. Regardless of the fact that I said you had to have one from each restaurant. If I'd have said you're going to have sausage and chips from there, you're going to have it, and I actually had a prediction that predicted everything, I think you would have found that more impressive. I think the reason you found this more impressive, even though it uses the same method, is because it's obviously about numbers. It can't be about anything else because all we have here are numbers.
Yeah, I mean, those are cool, which is different to just bog standard cards that you see every magician carrying around with them. I've never seen those. And you picked a random number out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a bunch. I mean, that seems more impossible.
Really? Because it could be a different outcome. You said about the Ideal Meal thing, oh, it's always going to be 42. If we did this again and you made different choices, it would be a different number.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be 236. It's a different outcome every time.
So if it's a different outcome every time, is the one with the meal a different outcome every time?
Not saying.
So it's not, because otherwise you would. Because you've just said that's a different outcome every time. If that wasn't a different outcome every time, you wouldn't have made a point of it. So the Ideal Meal one is the same outcome every time.
Stop trying.
Which means this is better.
Stop trying to second guess me.
I'm not second guessing you. It's true though, right? Like if it was a different outcome every time, you'd be like, no, it's a different outcome every time. Like you've just done with that.
Yeah.
But as you went, oh, I'm not telling you. That means it isn't.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So it's the same every time.
Yeah.
Which makes that better. So method
But
maybe...
and you think this is a better prop than the cards? Because you could argue that the cards are more organic. They are what looks like restaurant cards. It's the sort of thing that you could believably carry around with you.
Yeah, no, I totally
while
agree.
these are weird-ass little wooden coloured dice.
There are pros and cons for both, I think. In this scenario, with this kind of trick, having something that's different and like something to remember and something to focus on makes this particular trick better.
Okay.
Because if this is the same method as the other trick, I'm basically purely going on what I saw with that trick and this trick. And if that trick is the same as this trick, how it's done, I liked this one. I didn't like the other one. So I don't know why. I mean, this seems more impossible. That's a big number.
Mm-hmm.
We're not dealing with like 6 coffee cards or 8 coffee cards or however many it was. That's a big ass number.
Yeah.
Generated by 5 dice with big ass numbers on it.
Yeah.
That seems a lot more impossible than making a meal up to 42 quid. It's going to be every time.
Okay.
I think it didn't seem like the same trick to me. It didn't come across as the same trick. You could have done that trick and this trick back to back and it wouldn't have seemed like the same thing to me.
Okay. Interesting. So you liked it?
I do like this one.
This is not a mat test, but if it was a mat test, would it pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Right, there you go. Interesting guy. Okay, guys, what I want to do on this particular segment is talk to you about another gig nightmare story. Another gig nightmare story, because for some reason, you guys seem to like it when I spend time on Magic TV talking about gigs that have been an absolute nightmare for me. And this one is one, I'm going to tell you the story about when I got booked to do close-up magic at the start of a swingers party. And I'm really not kidding. And already Jack is laughing behind the camera. I'm really not kidding. This was a few years ago now, and I didn't even realise it was a swingers party. I thought it was just close-up magic at this. They'd hired out this big stately home, and it was beautiful. If you've ever kind of done close-up magic at a private party, sometimes people hire out venues, and they'll invite friends over, and there's lots of different bedrooms. That's what's happened here. They hired out this stately home, and it was basically one big shag fest. And the reason they actually had me there is I was basically their fluffer. So it was my job to come in and basically perform magic, get the people in the mood, get them all mixing and mingling before they go off to their various bedrooms and, you know, kind of hop on the good foot and do the bad thing, as Austin Powers would say. So basically, I found out very quickly and very early on that this was a swingers party. I found out very early on. One of the big giveaways that this was a swingers party was when I turned up and there was a big glass bowl right in the main sort of living room, big massive living room, stately home, huge living room, right? That came in from I remember it really vividly. So there was an entranceway, and off the entranceway there was a massive kitchen. They must have paid a fortune to hire this. And then you went forward and there was this big, huge sort of living room, and they had their own private driveway and everything. And anyway, they had this big glass bowl in the middle of the room, and everyone had just dropped their keys in there. And genuinely, I thought the whole dropping the keys in the bowl thing was just something that, you know, people did. No, it actually happens. It's not a thing that people do in movies. And they were drinking lots. And the whole idea, if you've never been to a swingers party before, because I have, because I'm obviously an expert at this now that I've been to a swingers party, is that, you know, couples will come and they will chat and they will talk, and then the couples will pair up, or the individuals from the couples will pair up with other individuals of the couples, and then they'll go into their relative bedrooms and go on a shag fest. That might have continued after that, I don't know, because my job was to just get them kind of warmed up and get them all excited up until the point that they wandered off. So I was there for about an hour and a half, something like that. And it was just the weirdest experience I've ever had in my life, because when I first got there and I started off doing magic, it was kind of like a normal gig, other than people were very kind of shy sort of thing, which I didn't expect. But they were kind of really shy. And then as they kind of got more drunk, should we say, as the alcohol started flowing freer, they started to become more touchy-feely, but not with each other, with various different people. And it just got really weird. You know, I was trying to do cards across, and I was doing the gag. I had two women with low-cut blouses, low-cut tops, and I was like, hey, can you take these 10 cards and put them somewhere where I can't get to them? And she put them down her top, which happens when you do close-up. And then I said to the other one, can you put these cards somewhere I can't get them? And she just looked and she lifted up her skirt and pushed them down her pants, which was just so weird. And then I was like, look, I'm going to make them go across. And I was like, look, I'm going to prove to you, look, that you count your cards. And this guy was like, I'll go in and get them. And he just reached down her top and grabbed the cards and then reached down her It was just the weirdest experience I've ever had in my entire life. And, you know, I had people kind of trying to come onto me. I know how. Look at me. Why? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, they weren't the best looking people themselves, to be perfectly honest. I mean, one of them looked like Elf Garnett's granddad, to be perfectly honest. He was like about 147 and very wrinkly, and he was all up in everyone's face. But anyway, you want a horror story? That was a horror story. I had to have 15 showers after that gig. I felt so dirty. It was really weird. If they'd have told me it was a swingers party, I probably would have kind of said no. And it got weirder and more sexually inappropriate as I went on. And I got to a point where I didn't want to be there anymore, and I just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge as quickly as I can. So there you go. There's another horror story. Not as horrific as some of the others, but a really weird situation that I found myself in. So there you go. If you like your horror stories, I'll do another one on a future 5x5. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more horror stories here on Magic TV. So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Do me a favor, let me know what you think in the comments down below. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow at 6 o'clock with a Magic Live. I'm going to be back with a video at 9 and a short at 2. If you haven't already done so, go check out the Netrix. It's www.thenetrix.com. You can check it out and see what all the fuss is about. It is the best online streaming platform for magicians. But thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'll see you again. My name's Craig from Magic TV.